On this day, Xiaomei drove her off-road vehicle to the mountainside. In front of her was a picturesque sea of clouds, and the thick fog added a bit more mystery. It was drizzling at that time. Without hesitation, Xiaomei put on her raincoat and started to move the camping equipment from the car to the campsite. To ensure the tent was stable, she first used long angle screws to fix the four corners into the soil. Then, she started the electric air pump and easily propped up the whole tent. The tent space was extremely spacious, large enough for a layout of 3 bedrooms and a living room. And there was also an outdoor patio with a canopy extended outside. As the tent was gradually set up, Xiaomei rolled up the curtains of the doors and windows. The transparent windows allowed the sunlight to shine into the room, making it warm and bright. She already felt that the space inside the tent had become extremely comfortable, as if the whole world was surrounded by clouds, fog, and mountains. After the preliminary setup, Xiaomei finally went back into the tent, took off her soaking wet raincoat, laid a soft carpet on the ground, and cleaned the damp floor. Although it was still drizzling outside, the tent had good air tightness. The windows on the top and the surrounding design allowed sunlight and fresh air to fill the room, bringing a special sense of freshness. Xiaomei quickly unloaded all the equipment from the car and piled it up at the entrance of the tent. Next, she started to arrange the power supply, hanging light strips in every corner of the tent to ensure that the room would be brightly lit even at night. When everything was ready, she started to set up a spacious bedroom area. Xiaomei used the electric air pump to inflate the big bed again. The soft elasticity of the mattress made her want to sink into comfort the moment she lay down. She laid soft bedding and pillows, and also prepared a small heater. After replenishing the fuel and lighting it, she ensured that the tent always maintained a dry and comfortable temperature. Although the heavy rain outside didn't stop, Xiaomei was still able to enjoy her camping time safely inside the tent. She neatly stored the camping equipment and set up the kitchen and dining table to meet daily needs. As the rain gradually grew heavier, the atmosphere became more serene. Xiaomei decided to close the tent door to prevent moisture from getting in. She sat on the bed to rest for a while and dried her wet clothes at the same time. As night gradually fell, it started to get cold inside the tent. But Xiaomei was well prepared. She opened the extra long exhaust pipe to ensure the smooth discharge of the smoke from the stove. The warm air made the whole tent full of the smell of home. It was dinner time. Xiaomei used the gas canister to heat water and prepared a steaming hot little hot pot. She quietly enjoyed the food, looking at the sea of clouds and mountain scenery outside the tent, feeling the peace and freedom. However, as the rainstorm continued to intensify, more and more water accumulated on the top of the tent. Xiaomei had to drain the water from time to time to keep the tent safe and dry. After finishing all this, Xiaomei could finally relax, lying on the big bed for a short nap. When she woke up, it was already dark, and the dim yellow lights in the tent gave off a warm atmosphere. She opened her eyes and checked the surrounding environment to make sure that no strangers or wild animals were approaching. After all, camping alone still had certain risks. The cherry blossoms in the night looked extremely beautiful in the drizzle. Xiaomei couldn't help but stop to enjoy the short-lived beauty. She checked the chimney on the top of the tent again to make sure there was no blockage, then added firewood to the fireplace and lit it with a blowtorch. The slow-burning aroma of the firewood followed, and the whole tent gradually warmed up. To make up for the energy consumption during camping, Xiaomei fried a nutritious steak with a small stove and prepared a sweet caramel pudding. The delicious bites one after another made her feel satisfied. At night, Xiaomei used the projector to play movies or TV series on the tent cloth, relaxing her body and mind while eating desserts, feeling the coziness of camping life. In the late hours of the night, she was already exhausted physically and mentally, so she lay on the big bed and fell asleep. The next morning, the clouds and fog still hadn't dispersed, but the rainstorm had stopped. Xiaomei got up, rolled up the tent curtains, and went to the living room to prepare breakfast. She fried a small portion of Korean kimchi fried rice, enjoying the delicious food while looking at the outdoor scenery. After having breakfast, she started the easiest moment, packing up the campsite. Xiaomei, with rich experience, easily sorted and stored the equipment inside the tent, quickly deflated the inflatable bed and disassembled the support poles, and packed the whole tent. Although it was quite laborious to pack this 50-kilogram tent, for her, it was already a habit. Finally, the tent was perfectly packed, all the equipment was properly sorted, and Xiaomei drove her off-road vehicle away from this foggy hill, continuing her free camping journey. Outside the window, snow was falling heavily, and it was a world of ice and snow. Xiaomei drove through the wind and snow and came to the Freljord Snow Mountain alone. The blizzard that had just arrived here was unbelievably fierce, but she wasn't afraid at all. She immediately started to set up an inflatable tent. After spreading out the tent cloth, Xiaomei connected the air pump and watched as the tent quickly stood up. However, snow soon covered the top, and the howling wind, carrying snowflakes, kept lashing at it, making her setup work full of challenges. To make the tent more stable, Xiaomei used tent pegs and a small hammer to fix it, firmly planting the tent into the snowfield. She also rolled up the curtain to let in natural light, making the whole space bright and transparent. After entering the tent, Xiaomei cleared the snow inside and quickly dried the ground with the air pump. Then, she took out the camping equipment from the car and laid down soft blankets so that it would be comfortable to walk barefoot. To deal with the extremely cold weather of -10+ degrees, Xiaomei assembled a wood-burning fireplace and connected the smoke exhaust pipe to extend outside the tent. After lighting the firewood, the warm flames instantly warmed up the tent, and the chill gradually dissipated. She built an airbed in the central area, paired with blankets, pillows, and a sleeping bag, and the resting area for camping was officially completed. While she was busy, Xiaomei carried her excited little dog into the tent. The dog was jumping around happily in this warm space. To improve the living comfort, she also set up a folding cabinet, filled it with daily necessities, and lit an electric heater to assist with heating. A self-made washroom was also properly arranged, using mountain spring water to solve the problem of domestic water. In this simple tent, everything was fully equipped, warm and practical, just like a small home. After being busy all day, Xiaomei finally got a chance to rest a little. She heated the mocha pot with a gaskin stove and made a cup of hot coffee. She also took out the soft, roasted red bean bread from under the fireplace. Hot coffee with small bread, plus the heavy snow and beautiful scenery outside the window. Everything seemed extremely cozy as the sky gradually darkened. She lit more camping lights, closed the curtain, and was ready to start the camping time at night. Xiaomei's dinner was also very sumptuous. She sliced the peppers, heated the pan with oil, and stir-fried the tender beef. A spicy and delicious stir-fried beef with peppers was ready. Paired with sweet and soft, steamed buns and a small drink, it was extremely delicious. After eating and drinking, she nestled on the comfortable air bed, hugged her dog, and watched TV. The warmth of the fire and the softness of the light made the whole night full of peace and satisfaction. In the late night, Xiaomei extinguished the lights in the fireplace, hugged her dog, and got into the warm quilt, falling asleep peacefully while listening to the wind and snow. In the morning, Xiaomei opened the curtain, and a snow-covered forest came into view. Just like a fairy tale world, she cleared the snow around the tent, and relit the fireplace to warm up the room quickly. Then she prepared a sumptuous breakfast for the dog, and for herself, she cooked dumplings in high soup, added egg liquid, scallions, and seasoned them with pickled vegetables. After having a bowl of steaming hot breakfast, the chill was completely gone, and she became energetic. Taking advantage of the slightly slower snowfall, Xiaomei quickly tidied up the camp. She put all the equipment back into the car, deflated the tent and folded it up. It took her a lot of effort to carry the dozens of pounds tent back to the trunk. After everything was properly packed, Xiaomei drove the car away from this snow-covered forest and continued her camping journey.